All right, everybody, Happy New Year. Before we dive into today's show, I want to make sure that you know that over at Equilife, we are committed this year to making sure that this is the year you achieve the results you're looking for. So whether it be wellness, body transformation, anti-aging, you name it, anything related to the health in both mind and body, we would love to be there to help you. So head on over right now to stevencabral.com/shop. That'll send you over to Equilife. And right now on the site, you will see there are over 100 products and protocols, all marked down 30%. That means you're going to be able to save 30% on your first month subscription. You choose whatever you believe will help you get that much closer to your goals. Let us know how we can help right in at cabralsupportgroup.com. You can message us, but again, we are going to be there for you. Let us know how and save 30% all this week by heading on over to stevencabral.com/shop. Now, enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified Doctor of Naturopathy, Dr. Stephen Cabral, shares with you exactly how you can reverse aging, take back your health, and live a life full of energy and passion, with new 20-minute episodes every single day to keep you healthy and engaged. Now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Great to have you here today on our Friday review of the Cabral Concept. Each and every day bringing you a brand new show. Today on the Friday review, I like to go over new research. So we're going to be bringing you brand new research on resveratrol. So to make sure that you are using the healthy dosage and whether you should be using it on a daily basis or not. We're going to go over a new study that looked at melatonin use in children. Is it safe? And if so, how often? Then we'll go over our book review of the week. It's a big one, but it's a type of book that you don't necessarily have to read all in one sitting. This book right here that I'm holding is about 800 pages. This, believe it or not, this was the original size of the rain barrel effect. So that's pretty cool to look at that. That's how thick it would have been printed. But of course, like I said, I cut that book in half. I'm going to share why I'm recommending that here today. And then we're going to go over a device that you can make right at home. I have one right here in video. If you want to catch the video, head on over to our YouTube channel. That's just YouTube. And it's my name, Stephen Cabral, or stevencabral.com/2891 for all of today's links. Let's start with our podcast recap of the week, though. I love being able to get into it. Yes, it's the beginning of the new year. I know you might be listening to this show any time of the year, but this is the time of the year that I'm just committed to helping you achieve whatever your goals are. Now, I know that we often set goals, and a lot of people are good goal setters, but I want you to be a good goal achiever this year. So achievement really comes through having a big enough why, and whenever possible, educating that why, and then have an accountability partner. So if you're looking to get well this year, I can't recommend enough working with an integrative health practitioner. Again, no relation to me, Equilife, anything that we do. But if you can, head on over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org, click on the practitioner tab, and find a practitioner to work with. You can work with all different levels and just find out your underlying root causes as to why you can't lose the weight, gain the weight, get healthy. You feel like you're aging too quickly. Any of those things, they will be able to help you. They'll be able to look at the underlying root causes. They'll be able to educate you on it and even hold you accountable. So I can't recommend it enough. That is my 30 seconds on make sure you find a accountability partner this year. They will help you stick through it even when you have some of your lows, which inevitably we all do, right? All right, so let's go through podcast recap of the week. Just Monday, we went over reassessing the past year. So I gave you 7 questions to really look at last year. And by knowing last year, by really understanding it, taking 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to go through it, through these 7 questions, you will know how to make sure you don't make the same mistakes of the past, but actually improve your present and future. So that was episode 2887. 2888 was one identical twin went vegan while the other didn't. See what happened. So I share with you the unbiased perspective of what it looked like in this study over 8 weeks. How did their blood markers change? For the better or for worse? What do the 2 diets look like? At least some takeaways for sure you'll be able to get from that. All right. Wednesday's show is 2889. The 7 signs you've taken your diet too far. If you are going on a diet this year, please listen to the show. You will know if it's hurting your metabolism or not. All right, in 2890, yesterday's show was the new top supplement for hormones, blood sugar, and longevity. Question mark. is this the one that people have been looking for? So I think you'll enjoy that show. It's a product that I'm currently using myself, and it's one of those products that you will become ubiquitous. Like you'll hear people talking about it like a magnesium or a vitamin D. You may already be using it yourself. So check out that show. I give you the top 10 benefits as to why people are using it. All right, let's go over our product review of the week. I know that like 5 years ago on the show, I've definitely recommended this product before. This product is called a peanut. That's it. It's also called a mid-back roller. It is made from, so if you're not watching this on video, it's okay. I used camo tape. I have no idea why I used camo tape, but that's what I had, so that's what I used. So all it is 2 tennis balls. And you wrap the 2 tennis balls with what's called friction tape or hockey tape. So I just call it hockey tape because that's what we used to tape our stick hockey sticks with. And this particular one was camo. I think I had this and I think I liked it because it's going to get dirty. And so using a white tape, it's just going to look really dirty and you might not want to use it. But we used to make these in my fitness studio, personal training center studio, body transformation center, whatever you want to call it, many years ago. And we would give them to clients. It's inexpensive. It's 2 tennis balls. That's it. And friction tape. And you roll it together. You've got a little space in the middle. Okay. The 2 tennis balls touch, but that still makes space in the middle. That space in the middle is what goes on the spine. So the balls do not touch the spine. They go to the muscles beside each side. So this is actually used, you can use it against a wall or you can use it right on the floor. And there's lots of videos in this, so we're gonna link up a video. I might even have an old school video that I filmed probably like 2007, 2008 when I was a health correspondent for diet.com. And those videos are really old school. We'll see if we can find one. We'll link it up at episode 2891, stevencabral.com/2891. So the way that this works though, is it actually gives your mid-back a massage. So if you sit at a desk a lot or you drive a lot or through exercise, your mid-back is tight. If you're looking to improve your rotation for racquetball, squash, pickleball, tennis, golf, this helps tremendously to increase range of motion. It's pretty fantastic. So if you're super tight, do it against a wall first, put it between your mid-back, roll up and down along the spine in the thoracic area of the mid-back, and then eventually try it on the floor. Lift your hips up, roll back and forth. I mean, it can get a little tender, but it's absolutely fantastic. I wanted to bring this to you because it's free. Almost free. It's the cost of 2 tennis balls and friction tape. And it can make a tremendous difference in opening up your mobility in your back. And you feel fantastic when you're done with it. So I try to do this a little bit every day when I get away from my desk. All right. That's our product review of the week. Nothing fancy. We usually bring you high-tech gadgets that help improve your HRV and all sorts of different things. Today, simple, easy, yet highly effective. All right. Book review of the week. This is a book. I went back and forth. Do I want to recommend this book to you or not? Because it is 800 pages. So there are not a whole lot of people that's going to read all 800 pages. Maybe some of our integrative health practitioners will out there. And that's great. But what it can do is you can use it as like a reference guide. So in the back of the book, from pages 823 through about 840 or so, you've got all different health-based issues, anxiety, apnea, arginine, aromatherapy, aromatase, arsenic, artemisia. So like you can just look at the glossary and then look up, oh, I'm dealing with X, Y, and Z. Let me see what this book has to say. Now, I will say this book is called A Physician's Guide to Natural Health Products That Work. It was written by Dr. James Howenstein, a medical doctor. And I wouldn't say before his time, but right around the time, right? Wrote this in 2002. Last update was 2008. And I read it. And it's actually overall really good. Now, do some of the things need to be updated a bit? Yes. Is it all inclusive of like all forms of Ayurvedic and, red light and sauna? No. But it's still really good. And like, there's no one book that includes everything. The Rain Barrel Effect doesn't include everything, right? There's a reason why I want to write another book this year as an adjunct, an add-on to the Rain Barrel Effect. You could use it either as a pre or post cursor to that book. It could be a prequel or a sequel. And But it's a very good book. This is a nice book, I think, to have, especially if you're into health coaching or you're into health at all, and you want to look at, hey, am I missing something? And this book can give you a second, third, fourth, fifth opinion. So I'm going to link it up for you today. I'll link it up at episode 2891, a physician's guide to natural health products that work. So great work, Dr. James Howenstein. All right, now let's get to our research. So this research today is brought to you by a great company as well called Thorne Research. And it's their article that they sent out, and it links to the research. So I'm going to actually link to the real research. But again, I like giving love to everybody who's due some love and they're due some love. So what I want to go over first is the study on melatonin in children. There's a lot of people were using a lot of melatonin with kids during COVID and the pandemic and all sorts of things. And then there was all these outcries like, oh, this is harmful for kids and there's that and this risk. There's very little risk to using melatonin with any human being. Can you overdose in melatonin? Yes. Yeah, you can. You can overdose on a lot of things. Melatonin is one of them. So don't overdose. Why don't I do this? I've read the whole study for you. I'm gonna cut to the gist of it, is that they actually looked at children and adolescents. And they also looked at children and adolescents with mental health disorders and also ones that were impacted with sleep. And so they looked at just a few of the behavioral and mental health, ADHD, ASD, depression, anxiety. They looked at injury rate before and after melatonin. They looked at overall sleep. They looked at self-harm, and they went through it. And they found that within the first 3 months of using melatonin, injury rates decreased compared to off treatment. Let's see what else. Compared to melatonin initiation, meaning the first use of it, risks of self-harm and poisoning were significantly lower after melatonin use. So there's that. And then they say there may be other factors. And I agree with that. Melatonin is not the only factor. But what I want to share with you is, again, so melatonin use shows potential positive effects as part of a comprehensive treatment protocol for a youth population with very little to no side effects. Okay, so here's the thing though. I do not recommend melatonin for everyday use with children. I don't. I recommend using it for a period of a week to 12 weeks in order to help a child get into a better sleep rhythm, to help maybe with digestion, or maybe they had GERD for some reason. I recommend it to help with mental, emotional-based challenges here, and mainly sleep-based issues, okay? So that's why I recommend it. Do I recommend it every day? No. Do I use it with my 2 daughters? Yes. How often do I use it? Once a month to twice a month maximum. How much do I use? They're recommending in this, it was actually a decent dosage. It was like 3 to 5 milligrams. I don't use 3 to 5 milligrams. I personally use as an adult 3 to 5 milligrams. I use typically 2.5 to 3 milligrams on a nightly basis. I use it for deep sleep, for REM, for rejuvenation, for antioxidant capacity, immune system, so much more. But I use a very low dose. Now, for children, what do my daughters get? My daughters get about 0.25 to 0.5 milligrams. Very little. We use the liquid melatonin by Equilife. You can obviously find that at StephenCabral.com shop, but StephenCabral.com/shop, but feel free to use any company that you like. I just don't want to use any artificial flavors, any artificial ingredients, etc. Right? So I just want it to be clean. And I only use it with children, as I said, yes, mental health, all of those things, 1 to 12 weeks. Why would I use it with my 2 daughters once or twice a month? Let's say they've been staying up late a couple nights and I need to get them back into a sleep schedule. Okay, Sunday night, it's time for school. We're trying to get them in bed early. A little bit of melatonin gets them back on their sleep schedule. Because remember, the next day for school, they need to wake up at 6 a.m. or whatever time it is. So if they stay up until 9, 10, they're not getting the right amount of sleep for them and their bodies. So I'm just helping. They can't sleep in. I'm just helping them get them back in the sleep cycle. And then boom, we got it. We're good to go. We don't need to do it again. The only other time is that my whole family will use it if we're traveling time zones and we need to get back into a sleep pattern. So that's basically it. I wanted to share that with you. I thought it was great research. Obviously, it can be very helpful. And so we want to use everything at our disposal to help everyone that we can, right? Okay. The last one is with Resveratrol. Okay. So it is a product that we use. And I've said for some time that we always err on the side of caution. So inside of our Cell Boost right now, we use about 125 milligrams or so of resveratrol, which is a very absorbable, good form of it. But there are many people out there using 1 gram or 2 grams a day of resveratrol. And so, again, I err on the side of it because I've seen studies that show that if you use too much, it actually is detrimental to longevity and overall health. There are people who dispute that, and I'm not disputing it. I'm just sharing, like, there are studies that actually show this. So I'm just sharing with you the studies. So what do? I err on the lower side. I only use 125 milligrams a day, whereas some people use 1 gram. That's 10x, basically, a little less than 10x. Okay, so here's a new study. Resveratrol as an adjunctive treatment to attenuate type 2 diabetes complications. So basically, what are they trying to do? Use resveratrol to help with all the issues surrounding diabetes. Okay, so diabetes is often correlated with increased oxidative stress, which can increase the risk of neurological and other complications related to disease. So what they did is they took, in this study, the adults with type 2 diabetes, and they were ages 60 to 74, and they were currently taking metformin, a few other medications potentially, and they did a 6-month trial of looking at those on resveratrol and different dosage and how it affected oxidative stress and the healthy aging protein, which is called SIRT1 or SIRT2-1, compared to a placebo. People were divided into 3 groups. One at 250 milligrams twice daily, one at 500 milligrams twice daily, and then a placebo. Okay, so one group's getting 500 milligrams total a day, and the other is getting 1,000 milligrams total a day, which is 1 gram. Okay, so they looked at their baseline blood work and then their 6-month blood work. They looked at weight, height, BMI, blood pressure, fasting blood samples, glucose, hemoglobin A1C, which looks at basically 90 days of blood sugar, total cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, triglycerides, uric acid, urea, complete blood count, SIRT1 levels, and C-reactive protein, which is basically a measure of acute inflammation. All right. Then they measured oxidative stress from, I won't go through all the different numbers. So they measured oxidative stress. Okay, here's what they found. After 6 months of the group using 500 milligrams twice a day, which is 1 gram, this is what they found compared to the placebo. Triglyceride levels were decreased. Okay, that can be a good thing. Oxidative stress increased. SIRT1 increased more than double compared to the baseline. Patients with severe oxidative stress decreased from 22% to 3%. Incidence of moderate oxidative stress decreased from 27% to 13%. Percentage of participants without oxidative stress increased from 13% to 25%. Okay? The following significant negative changes were found in the placebo group after the baseline. Significant increases in CRP, increased concentration of lipid peroxides, SOD activity decreased, percentage of patients with moderate oxidative stress increased from 29 to 54, patients without oxidative stress decreased from 21% to 7%. So although the 250 milligrams, they said, twice daily dosage of resveratrol appeared to reduce incidence of oxidative stress, the only statistically significant change was an increased number of patients without oxidative stress after 6 months. So that changed after a longer period of time. The study concludes that resveratrol is well tolerated and that doses of 1,000 milligrams per day could be adjunctive treatment to reduce incidence of vascular and other complications related to type 2 diabetes. So I think the big takeaway from this is that higher dosages may be okay. 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams per day. And this worked with patients already not well, though. They already have type 2 diabetes. We need to see also, if you don't have type 2 diabetes, if this can also be as helpful. Because right now in type 2 diabetes, adding resveratrol may be actually helpful with the oxidative stress and other cardiovascular factors. So I found this to be interesting. Would it be the first product that I go for someone with type 2 diabetes? No, 100%. And people might say, that's really strange. You just read research showing that it's helpful. Here's why. Type 2 diabetes is not because you have a lack of resveratrol in the body. You don't get type 2 diabetes that way. You get type 2 diabetes because of a cell membrane issue, potentially diet, potentially exercise, potentially thyroid. There's a lot of factors that go into it. So I'm looking for all the underlying root causes. Yes, we want your blood work, but we also want to run the big 5. We run the big 5 labs at home. We figure out what's the digestive issues, what are the stress levels, hormone levels. We look at the thyroid. We look at heavy metals. We look at everything that could lead to inflammation and type 2 diabetes. We fix that we get the body back into balance. Now the person doesn't have type 2 diabetes. Fantastic. So now if you want to use resveratrol, great, but you're using it not because you have to. You want to use it as part of a healthy anti-aging protocol. So hopefully that's helpful. I don't know if I went too fast there. If you want more details, I'm happy to go over this. But again, I like to read you the research from brilliant scientists, PhDs, but I also want to share with you a practitioner's perspective as to what I would do, at least in clinical practice. Hopefully this is helpful. All the details are at stevencabral.com/2891. And then of course, for all the labs like the Big 5, the Cell Boost, everything else we use in our practice, you can find that at stevencabral.com/shop. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the day. I'll be back tomorrow with our first Cabral House Call. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning into the show. Deeply appreciate you. And to kick off this new year, over at Equalife, we are celebrating with 30% off your first month subscription to any product you would like. And that includes our Fatlocity system. So if you're looking to actually boost your metabolism this year, not just go on a crash diet or over-exercise, but actually look at thyroid, adrenals, sleep, and so much more, you'll want to check that out over at stevencabral.com/shop. So over 100 different products, 30% off, your choice, including the Fatlocity system. Check it out right now at stevencabral.com/shop and save 30%.